Just wanted to talk, that's all.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Monday, September 29th, and postseason baseball is officially here. It is postseason eve. Happy postseason eve to those of you who celebrate. Welcome back to those of you who skipped the regular season and are tuning in for the first time now that the playoffs are here. I know there's a few of you out there like that. I did the same thing with basketball. But look, there's a few of you who have been here every single show since the beginning of spring training. Some of you for years and years, every show after the next. And I want to thank all of you guys for making this such a great community. I'll tell you what, between 1999 and 2004 was the greatest Yankees-Red Sox rivalry of my lifetime. And they met in the playoffs 3 times. Yankees won in 99. They beat the Red Sox in 5 games in the American League Championship Series. Yankees Series MVP was Orlando Hernandez. You had a walk-off from Bernie Williams in that series. He had a couple of ALCS walk-off home runs. I've always felt like Bernie should have been considered part of the core 4, but it really would have been core 5. He was really the first one to arrive on the scene. I was actually at his first ever 5-hit game. But the big story of that series was the matchup between Pedro Martinez and Roger Clemens. It was at the height of Pedro Martinez's powers, right? He was an MVP candidate that year. He was phenomenal. And Roger Clemens didn't really have a great year in 99 when he came to the Yankees. He was, not super comfortable. He ended up pitching well in the World Series, but did not pitch well in that game. The Red Sox pummeled the Yankees 13-1. But that was the only game that the Red Sox won in that series. 2003, obviously one of the greatest series ever for Yankees fans. Yankees won that series. That was the Aaron Boone home run series to walk off in Game 7 off of the late Tim Wakefield. Rest in peace. And they lost the World Series to the Marlins, but I felt like the real World Series that year was Yankees-Red Sox, for sure. I mean, that was the best 2 teams, and they beat up on each other so much that I felt like the Marlins would have beat either team, honestly. But in 2004 was probably the most pain, one of the worst experiences that you could have if you're a Yankees fan. The Yankees jumped out to that 3-0 series lead. A-Rod was fresh on the scene. He was leading the way. He was having a great series. Yankees scored 19 runs in Game 3. You had guys hitting 500 in the playoffs. I mean, it was just an unbelievable offense. And then they kind of went down the tubes after that. They blew 4 straight. They didn't have the pitching. Flash forward to 2018. They matched up in the division series. And honestly, I think that was the best Red Sox team since 2004. They were just a juggernaut. They dominated the Yankees in that series. They won 3 out of 4. They crushed them 16-1 in that, I want to say it was Game 3, one of the biggest postseason losses ever by the Yankees. And we got some people in the chat that are saying, just get through the Red Sox. Yeah, I agree with you. But it's not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. The most recent meeting between the Yankees and Red Sox was the 2021 AL wildcard game. Now, it used to be just one game, and that one was won by Boston 6-2 in Fenway Park. And obviously a devastating loss. We were here for that. And since 2004, the Yankees' postseason record against Boston is 4-8. Not good. I don't know about you guys, but I am ready to exorcise the demons. Reverse the reverse of the curse. That is our motto for the next few days. Boston had a pretty good year. They won 89 games. They've got a great manager, Alex Cora. They scored 786 runs. They allowed 676 runs. Their Pythagorean win-loss record was 92-70. A big part of their turnaround was when Roman Anthony came up to the major leagues. He is going to be an absolute superstar in this league. He had a 3.1 Baseball Reference WAR in just 71 games as a rookie. Would not shock me if he wins a couple of MVPs in the next few years. Just 21 years old. He's the type of player that I thought Jason Dominguez was going to be, honestly. But the Red Sox have a lot of good players that can give the Yankees trouble. Carlos Narvaez, former Yankee, has killed them all year, had a good season. Alex Bregman obviously has given the Yankees fits for ages. But the guy that we're all thinking about when we talk about this series is Garrett Crochet. He went 18-5 with a 2.59 ERA. He led the American League in both innings pitched with 205.1 and in strikeouts with 255. And he beat the Yankees a few times. But he was not invincible. He was not invincible. Sublime, one of those folks who hasn't joined in a while, says, long time since I've come on. Just wanted to say how great it is having a podcast like this to come back and chat. Hope we go all the way. Appreciate the super chat there, Sublime. So Crochet against the Yankees, if you go to June 7th, he went 6 innings and he allowed 5 runs, although he did strike out 9. He won that game because the Yankees put up 10 runs against the Yankees pitching, which was terrible. Ryan Yarbrough started that game and he got absolutely demolished. He gave up, I believe, 8 runs in that game. Crochet's next start against the Yankees was fantastic. He went 8 1/3 innings. He only gave up the 1 run. That was the home run to Aaron Judge late in the game. Picked up his 14th win against the Yankees on August 23rd. He went 7 innings and allowed 1 run and struck out 11. And then his final start against the Yankees came on September 14th. He went 6 innings. He gave up 3 runs, struck out 12 to pick up his 16th win. So overall this season against the Yankees, he was 3-0. 3.29 ERA, 39 strikeouts in 27 1/3 innings. Now you can look at this a few different ways. You can say, well, he's dominated the Yankees. But no pitcher goes undefeated forever against a certain team, right? I mean, eventually it evens out. These are professional athletes. And, maybe the Yankees are due. Some people don't believe in due. Some people think it's a fallacy to believe in due. I think the Yankees are due. I think that they might get to him. We'll see. Brian Bayo also had a really good season, 11-9, 3.35 ERA. He is not a strikeout pitcher like Garrett Crochet, just 124 strikeouts and 166 and 2/3 innings. But he always seems to pitch well against the Yankees. This season he went 2-1 in 3 starts against the Yankees, 1.89 ERA. So for those of you who tuned in expecting me to basically puff out my chest and be extremely cocky that the Yankees are going to win this series and reassure you, I'm sorry. That's just not the way I feel. This is going to be a very, very difficult series for the Yankees to win. I think it's the toughest matchup that they've got. I think they can beat the Blue Jays. I think that they can, but you got to get there. You got to get through Boston. Now, it does help that the Yankees are playing at home. I expect the stadium to be ruckus. I expect it to be crazy. It helps that Judge and Stanton have both been swinging the bat better. We need Judge to hit in the postseason this year. If the Yankees lose 2 games and Judge goes 0 for 7 with 4 strikeouts and a double play in a big spot, he will never hear the end of it. He will never hear the end of it. We have got to make the plays on defense, manufacture runs if you're not hitting home runs. I mean, honestly, you'd like to just hit some home runs and just take care of business, blow these guys out 2 games in a row, but that's unlikely. These are good pitchers, right? You can't get picked off of bases. You got to be able to get bunts down when you need to, get a bunt down. You've got to make the plays. You can't be throwing balls into the camera well if you're Jazz Chisholm. You can't be booting balls if you're Anthony Volpe. You can't be, making it tough on your defense. You've got to make all the plays. Now is the time for the Yankees to play their best baseball. Now, they have won 8 straight, and if you believe in the law of averages, like I said, they're due to lose one, right? I mean, 8 wins in a row is tough. 9 or 10 is even tougher, right? They're not going to win 15 in a row. Yankees have Max Fried going, obviously, 1-1 with a 1.96 ERA in 3 games against Boston. Carlos Rodon, 1-2 with a 5.74 ERA against Boston. I hate to say it, but Boston has the advantage in terms of pitching. Boston has the advantage in terms of manager. Boston has the advantage in terms of fundamental play. And I think Boston has the advantage in terms of chemistry and makeup. I think the Yankees have the advantage in being able to do the damage with one swing, with home runs. And they have the advantage of being at home. And the fact that the Red Sox don't have Roman Anthony, they don't have Marcelo Meyer, that does hurt their offense. You guys know everything there is to know about this Yankees team. There's nothing more I can tell you. They have got to play good against a good team for once. Now, the Yankees did win the last series they played against Boston. And, you hope you ride that momentum and that it's fresh in their memory. Yankees are an imposing team. 274 home runs is no joke. That's more than the 61 Yankees. 849 runs scored, first in Major League Baseball. But it's going to come down to pitching. 3.91 team ERA, that's 14th in MLB, that's 7th in the American League, about halfway through the pack. Boston has the advantage there. And in the playoffs, unfortunately, it often comes down to pitching, and good pitching beats good hitting. We all know that. Michael V says, Jazz has to eat that ball sometimes. Yes. On that double play ball, where you don't have a great shot to get the guy at first, just eat it. It's not worth putting a guy in runners in scoring position, or a runner in scoring position. Yellow says they made it through the gauntlet. They can do it. I hope you're right. Puestos says Crochet is going to force the Yankees to set their weakest lineup ever, maybe even their weakest playoff lineup ever. Chisholm, Rice, Grisham, or McMahon possibly not starting. And you're right. I mean, they might have Austin Slater starting for game one. He hits lefties. We'll see. Maybe he runs into one. A lot of times it's the unsung heroes that come up big in the postseason because so much attention goes into stopping Judge, stopping Stanton, right? That it's the other guys that beat you. Volpe is not, he should not be swinging for the fences against Garrett Crochet, taking that big hack, right? Get on base. Create some situations where it's going to be tough for these pitchers to avoid making a mistake. And if you make a mistake to somebody like Stanton or Judge, boom, 2-0, 3-0, something like that. That's what you want. You want to create some tough situations for these pitchers over the next few days. Richard C says, for the love of God, minimal Volpe versus the Sox, please. And then BX Kid says, 54 home runs for Judge. Let's not forget. Yeah, he got robbed of one in Tampa Bay. Luis Hernandez says, do you think the Yankees starting pitching is enough to beat the Red Sox? I want to hear your opinion. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day in baseball. You can't predict baseball. I mean, anything could happen. Right? I mean, Crochet could have a bad start, right? I mean, he could give up 5 runs. It happens. The Yankees already put 5 runs on him once this year. It could happen. Max Fried could have a great start. Carlos Rodon is capable of being dominant. He's going to be pumped up. I put him on the thumbnail for a reason because he's going to be critical to this series. I expect the Red Sox to win game 1. I just flat out do. I don't like the matchup of Crochet versus the Yankees, but I think that Rodon in game 2 against Bayo has a chance to come up big. And then it's going to come down to game 3. Schlittler versus, I believe, Tyler Glasnow, who is filthy and had a good year. Lori C says, we are peaking at the right time. Let's hope you're right. And Andrew Calabria says, we need to give it our all each game, even if we lose game 1. 100%. All right, let's take some voicemails here.
It's just a reaction.
Hey, Derek. Anthony from Southern California here. Happy playoff eve, I guess. What I want to say is, I want to know where all these people think that records reset after the regular season. I guess it does, but I don't think the playoffs are as much of a crapshoot as people think they are. I think the issues that you have in the regular season actually get magnified when it comes to the postseason. That's me, for better or for worse. I'm not optimistic about this series against the Red Sox. They've kicked us around the field all year, but you never know, I guess. We did get to Crochet last time we played them, so who knows. Anyways, man, keep up the great work. Love your show. Can't wait to hear what you have to say after tomorrow.
I appreciate the call. That's a great take. I mean, the playoff really does amplify weaknesses. That is absolutely correct. We've seen it. And the Yankees have got to play their tightest, best baseball of the season. Here's Joe from Jersey.
Hi, Derek. Joe from Jersey. I just finished up the Mike Francesa podcast. I know you watch him. He's great. A couple things. I thought it was funny how he just just ripped into the Mets, and everything he said was true, calling them a bunch of bums. But the thing that got me, I had flashbacks, deja vu, whatever you want to call it, when he said about Boston. I had a lump in my throat because when he was saying that they're going to, outspeed the Yankees and this and that, I was just like, here we go again, live and die by the home run. and I hope, he's wrong. So let's see what happens.
Appreciate the call. And I also watched Mike Francesa last night. So last night was my 12th wedding anniversary. So after the Yankee game, I was obligated to watch a romantic movie with my wife, and we watched Bridges of Madison County, which, by the way, phenomenal movie. Clint Eastwood, Meryl Streep, very sad movie. But after she went to bed, I stayed up for a little while and I watched Francesa, and he just tore into the Mets, just tore into them. And, he said something that stuck with me. He said that he didn't want the bye in the first round because he wanted to see the challenge of facing the Red Sox. And sure, it's going to be high drama, but I completely disagree. I would have rather had the bye in the first round. I don't like a best of 3 series. Now, thankfully, it's at home, and the Yankees, will have a ruckus crowd behind them, but it is not going to be easy. Call about the lineup.
Hey, Derek. Dom in North Carolina here. Hey, I know you're going to get into it, but I just wanted to comment on the lineup strategy for Crochet. I think with Fried on the mound, you got to manage this game for a pitcher's duel. You got to try to work the counts, get into the bullpen as quick as you can. So that means you have to shore up your defense, potentially at the sacrifice of lefty splits. I don't think you get cute here. I'm not playing Rosario in the field, nor Slater, not with a pitch-to-contact guy like Fried. So that means you got a belly Grish Judge outfield, you got Goldie at first, keep Jazz at second. I'd be playing Cabby over Volpe, but that's probably unlikely because reasons. And interestingly, Wells actually has reverse splits if you look at it. Much better defender than Rice, so that's the easiest decision that you've got. So I guess in my mind is maybe the biggest question is McMahon. Do you lose enough defensively putting Caballero at third for what you get offensively? Let me know your thoughts, man. Good luck to the Yanks, babe.
I think that's a fantastic call. It's going to be interesting to see how Boone makes out the lineup. Personally, I would have Caballero in there for sure. I would probably put him at second base and play Rosario at third just for game 1. And I might even play Austin Slater in left field. I know he sucks. I know he's terrible, but he hits lefties. And all you need is somebody to run into one, and I know he hasn't played much. It's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. Now, the Rice and Wells thing, that's interesting. Do you go with the hot hand, Rice coming off of 2 home runs, including one off a lefty, or do you go with Wells, who has reverse splits? That's interesting. And he's a better defender. My pick to click in this game is Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt's a veteran. He's been wanting to win a World Series. He hits lefties well. I think he's going to be overlooked because he doesn't have huge numbers. I could see him running into one. I thought he's had some good swings lately, too.
Hey, Derek. It's Philip. Love your show. And I just want to call in and say, I know I'm probably looking too far into the future. We haven't played the wild card yet against Boston. Honestly, I feel like Boston is the scariest team for us to make it back to the World Series. So knocking out Boston in the wild card would be amazing. Honestly, if we do get past Boston, I have no fear against Toronto. I mean, Kevin Gausman, Judge has his number, Max Scherzer, his ERA's in the 4s. He's basically washed up. They don't have a rotation that scares me. So yeah, I feel like Boston is the only team that could threaten us. But after Boston, Toronto, cakewalk, in my opinion, even though they had a number in the regular season. But that's just my opinion.
I appreciate the call. I do not. First of all, saying that anybody in the playoffs, especially the division champion that won 94 games, is a cakewalk, I think is ill-advised. Toronto's a very, very good team, and they're very capable of beating the Yankees. But I do agree with some callers who said that they might be a little bit rusty. Getting 5 days off. But they're going to have a crazy crowd behind them. I mean, I think back about what was it, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, the 2016 team, I guess. That Toronto team that had, Batista and Donaldson at the height of his career. The crowd was absolutely nuts. And let's not forget, they have played well against us all year, especially in Toronto. Richard C. says, Cabby's going to have his Dave Roberts moment for us. Man, I hope so. Dave Roberts with the steel heard around the world. Here's Melvin.
What's up, Derek? This is Melvin from Ohio. I love the show like always, man, and I'm excited, man. I think that the Yankees have a great opportunity to win the World Series this year just because we're going to have Aaron Judge not having a long layover, and I think he's going to come in hot. And I don't think we have that much pressure. I don't think the Yankees have pressure right now for being like the best AL team right now, and I think that's going to help the players actually play with more, less pressure and just not overthink. So I think we have a great chance to go to the World Series again as long as we do what we got to do. But yeah, man, I'm excited. Hopefully we don't get, freaking eliminated. Hopefully Aaron Boone gets fired if we do. Peace out.
Yeah. Great call. Mark Stenrose says, no matter what the Yankees do in the playoffs, it feels great to have the Astros and Mets miss the postseason. I mean, how about that, right? I mean, that's one of the worst collapses ever for the Mets. I mean, and I'm confused because I thought this was a Mets town now. I mean, somebody said that was a Mets town. Was it Soto who said that? Yeah, I mean, I don't think so anymore.
Yeah, hi, Derek. Steve calling from Maine. This is what we need Judge to play well in the World Series. This is the way they've been beating Judge all the time, especially in the playoffs, especially Cora. This is the way they do it. An unexpected fastball for strike one, right down the middle. Now he thinks they're going to pitch to him instead of pitching around. He goes fishing for an outside curveball. 1-1. Then they throw him a couple more outside the plate, sliders outside, lower outside. He takes them both, full count. Finally, they either throw him a sinker below his knees or a fastball on the inside part of the plate that he swings right through. I've seen this time and time and time again. He needs to know it. His hitting coach needs to know it. He needs to prepare for it. He needs to take his walks because there's going to be a lot of them. That is all. Good day.
Steve has been hard on Judge all year, and now is Judge's chance to shut Steve up. So let's hope that this is what we're hearing from Steve after the series.
Hey, Derek, this is William from Florida. I know that we're facing Crochet in the first game of the wild card. I have 4 players that I would like to know your opinion on whether you think that they will probably give us the best the best opportunity to win the game. So I have Wells starting catcher over Rice, Slater over Grisham in left field, Caballero over Chisholm, and Rosario over McMahon. I think we need to go right-handed heavy so we could put some pressure on Crochet. But what do you think about that?
I mean, the thing is, Slater has not played a lot, and Wells, I know that his splits are better, but Crochet's a different animal, dude. It's just going to be it's going to be interesting to see what Boone does. I mean, no matter who's in there, you're probably going to have to manufacture a run or two. Honestly, I think it might just come down to a big home run. I think the best way for the Yankees to win against Crochet is with a big 3-run home run and for Max Fried to dominate. I think you got to get Crochet early on. The crowd is going to be nuts. He's never pitched in a postseason game before. Maybe he's a little bit wild coming out of the gate. Maybe he puts a couple of guys on and you got playoff Stanton and he tries to deal Stanton a fastball away to get strike one and Stanton just takes it into the right field seats. That's, I think, the formula for the Yankees to get a lead on Garrett Crochet. And then Max Fried pitches his ass off. That's how you win game 1. But then you still got to deal with Brian Bayo in game 2. Here's Ben.
Hi, my name is Ben. I live in Maryland now, but I grew up in the Bronx and I'm a lifelong Yankees fan. And one of the most gratifying things for me to see this year was how Ben Rice and Trent Grisham both did this season. I became an early believer in both of them last season when I went to the Yankees-Orioles game in Baltimore on July 14th, 2024. Both of them hit home runs that game, and they were awesome. I look forward to seeing Ben Rice continue on his path, and I wish there was some way that Trent Grisham can stay on the team. He's one of the great low-key New York Yankees outfielders, kind of like I remember Paul Blair and Roy White when I was growing up in the 70s. Anyway, love your show, and thank you.
Appreciate the call. I never got to see Paul Blair. I never got to see all those older guys. I wish I could have, but I didn't exist. Lori C wants to know what channel the game is on. I honestly don't know. I was going to check probably a half an hour before the game. That's kind of like, I'm weird about that. Like, I don't really line up my my watching schedule. I just kind of check and see what channel the game is on, and as I'm preparing for the game, for the post, or for the setting up the podcast and stuff, I just kind of find it, put it on the pregame, and that's my routine. But hopefully the announcers are not anti-Yankees, because we've had to deal with that a lot lately. Quick word from DraftKings, and then back we've got 5 more voicemails, and then we will wrap it up. Pressure is on, the lights are brighter, and with DraftKings Sportsbook, you're right there in the middle of every moonshot moment. DraftKings Sportsbook delivers the intensity of October with player props, live in-game betting, and odds that can change as fast as a ball flying over the fence. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get paid out $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code FOUL. That's code FOUL to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
It's just a reaction.
Okay, so we got some people telling us that the game is on ESPN. Cool. I get ESPN, so that'll work. And I want to know who's going to be announcing those games. That'll be interesting for me. David Cohn does ESPN, so maybe we'll get him in the booth, and that'll be our little Yankees representative. We got a call here about our winning streak.
What's going on, Derek? The Yankees finished the season amazingly. I think this is the longest winning streak of the year, actually, and it came at the best time. Really unfortunate, of course, that we couldn't defeat the Jays in the division. A lot of close games, a lot of games the Yankees blew this year that they could have easily won. Williams, obviously, has been abysmal. But at the same time, every team can say that. I'm sure the Blue Jays have a lot of games like that, too. So, credit to them. But the Yankees are kind of like a buzzsaw right now. They're tearing through everything in their path. And, the Red Sox crochet scares the hell out of me, but, we'll see. I mean, hey, it could benefit guys like Judge, like Volpe, to not have too much of a layoff. I know Volpe plays better with off days, but nonetheless, I mean, these guys are hot right now. Did we really want them to have 5 days off?
Appreciate the call. I mean, you make a good point, and we've had a lot of people saying that. I guess we'll see how it shakes out. Cox Odia says, why no start Jazz? Because lefty on lefty, I mean, Crochet will eat Jazz's lunch. But, and Jazz also, he got hit by a pitch the other day, didn't look great when he came in there yesterday. So we'll see. Here's Austin.
Hey, Derek, this is Austin. So it's on. Yankees-Red Sox, super excited. I'm actually really happy that they're not winning the division. I was kind of hoping for this because I think the way they've been rolling, I think it's better that they keep playing. Just my 2 cents, maybe an unpopular opinion. But the other thing, this game, we're seeing a couple of things that we really don't want to see the Yankees doing in the postseason. The pickoff on Caballero, which I think he actually got kind of screwed on that call. I think the base was being blocked before the ball got there. I mean, that's what it looked like. So I think Boone had a legit argument there. The other thing was Jazz throwing the ball away. I think that he just gets too excited, man. He gets too exuberant. He gets too excited. He tries to do too much. And that's something he's really got to not do in the playoffs. That could kill us. He's got to put that one in his back pocket. Anyway, thanks.
Yeah. Jazz has made some dumb throws, 100%, and we totally got screwed on that pickoff. That should not be allowed. You should not be allowed to block the entire base with your foot.
Hey, Derek. I just want to say it was a great year. If you told me we'd end up with 94 wins after we lost Garrett Cole and Stanton in the spring, I would have been like, "You're joking, right?"
Impressive.
But we did it. You know, the emergence of Trent Grisham, Ben Rice, Schlittler, even to some degree Will Warren. Just unbelievable. Just really great stories. Just really excited about the young arms moving forward. Trent and Ben Rice, I hope they continue this kind of performance in their careers with the Yankees, of course. But yeah, just a hell of a way to come back after the July swoon we had. Best record in baseball since August 11th. Finished out with 8-game winning streak. You know, the best they've looked all year.
Yeah, appreciate it. 8-game winning streak is fantastic, but then you wonder, like, when is that juice going to run out, right? Nobody wins 15, 16 in a row anymore, especially the Yankees. Here's Milton.
Hey, Derek, this is Milton from Texas. I'm not gloating or anything like that because we still got a long way to go, but I just want to ask is Juan Soto still playing with the Mets? I guess it didn't work out for them. Well, okay. That's all I have to say for now, and, we won without him, and at least we're going into the playoffs, and they're not. It doesn't look like anyway.
Yeah, they're out, and Soto had a great year, but when it counted, he didn't come up big, and the Mets folded like a cheap suit. So it is what it is. Final call here.
Hey, go Yankees, Derek. Well, I got my wish. The Yankees won, and they're going to the wild card. I know everybody wanted them to finish in first place. I think it's really encouraging, though, that they just finished strong and that they're going in hot. And that's what I think is key. I think that'll be our advantage. We're going in hot. And I think we can beat the Red Sox, even though we had a worse season record. And what you were describing on the air about Garrett Crochet, they did the same thing in Celtic Pride, the 90s movie. If you haven't seen it, you got to watch it. Damon Wayans is this
they kidnapped
really
David
great
Wayans.
basketball player who's going to beat up on the Celtics in the championship. So these guys are at the bar one night. He stumbles in, gearing up for a night out on the town before he goes into the big championship games, and they end up kidnapping him so they can't beat him. And
that was great. Yeah, that was a great movie. Damon Wayans was fantastic. I saw that movie. It had Daniel Stern, I think, from City Slickers and Home Alone and the voice on Wonder Years. But anyway, let's wrap it up here. Tomorrow at noon, I'm going to have Robbie Hyde, baseball content creator and noted Red Sox fan, host of Monster Territory, and we're going to have a little shit-talking session tomorrow at noon on the channel. So tune in for that. And then, obviously, post-game, after the game, as always. So get your calls in and get your shit-talking in, and I'll play some tunes for Robbie. And we'll have fun with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button and subscribe. Check out NYYDesigns.shop for some great merch. Support our sponsors. It helps keep the show going. And you can find us on all major audio platforms, so be sure to subscribe there too. But most importantly, come back again soon. We'll see you next time.